Adverbs. There's good news and there's bad news. I hope you're ready for it. Strap yourselves in. Welcome to another Lockdown Learning with me, Paul Holland. This is a very short basic revision of adverbs from junior level all the way up through to GCSE. If you're still not quite sure how adverbs work or what they are, then this is the video for you. So in primary school, you probably remember being asked what's an adjective, what's a noun, what's a verb, and you have pretty stock answers to all of those things. With an adjective, it's fairly simple. People remember adjectives are a describing word. What about adverbs? Where do they fit in? Well, interestingly, adverbs are also describing words, but they describe a verb. So an adjective describes a noun, the blue book, the old school, the lovely person. Book, school, person are all nouns. An adverb describes the verb, the action. For example, he runs slowly. She sings sweetly. She talks curiously. And those words, sweetly, curiously, slowly, describe how that person is doing the activity, whatever the activity is. So you'll notice in English, obviously, we've got ly as a typical ending for adverbs. Not all adverbs end in ly, some of them have different forms. Likewise, in Latin, there are certain endings that you can recognize are adverb endings, and they follow certain patterns. So let's have a look at some of them now and see them in practice. And here we are. First of all, we've got good news, and this is the good news. Adverbs don't need lots of different endings. Once you've got the adverb, it just stays in the same form. So you don't need to worry about the gender of the person it's describing, or the number, or the case, or any of those sort of things. You simply use the word, and that's it sorted. Good. Okay, so here are three adjectives, lightus, certus, and pulcher. I'm sure you know what they all mean. Here they are. Lightus is happy, certus is certain or definite, and pulcher, of course, is handsome or beautiful. And of course, we call these 2-1-2 adjectives, don't we? Because they follow the pattern us, a, for the masculine, feminine, and neuter. 2-1-2 because they are the endings for second declension, first declension, and second declension neuters. So any of these adjectives that you come across, plenty of them in Latin, nice and easy to make an adverb. In order to make it happily, you simply change that ending to an e. So laite, happily. He happily did something. Certus, certe. So certainly, definitely. But pulcher is one of those second declension adjectives that have an er at the end, a little bit like second declension nouns like magister and ager. They drop the e, don't they? So let's drop the e, and you've got pulcre, beautifully. She sings beautifully. Yeah, pulcre cantat is more or less how it would come out. And here are third declension adjectives. So third declension adjectives, a little bit like third declension nouns, they have slightly different way of behaving from the 2-1-2 adjectives. They have an is very often on the end. Fortis, and forte for the neuter. So that means brave. And celer means fast. And if you have one of these, then you tend to put iter on the end. So fortiter, celeriter. There aren't a huge number of these in GCSE, to be honest with you. Sapienter, perhaps, wisely. There's a few of them around, but it's worth certainly knowing some of the basic ones. And if you come across iter, it means ly in English. Okay, it's an adverb. Good. And now we are on to the bad news, and the bad news is not that bad, really. It's not that difficult to learn this. It's just one little detail that might throw you. Adverbs, like adjectives, can have three different degrees. You have the basic form, the comparative form, and then the superlative. So just as you can have an adjective with the 3 degrees, the positive, the comparative, and the superlative. There we go. Tool, tooler, toolist. Adverbs can also have these 3 different forms. So let's take that adverb happily, which we came across before, and here are the 3 forms. There's the basic form, the positive form, happily, laite. Let's jump to the superlative, because that's the most obvious one that you'll see a connection with, laetissime. So it's basically the superlative laetissimus, but with an e on the end of it. But look at the comparative, it's laetios, and that's the bad news. Here's the bad news, it looks a bit similar to a US ending that you find on the end of masculine nouns, or on the end of masculine adjectives. Where does that come from? Well, it's not worth worrying where it comes from. It's just if you come across IUS on the end of what looks like an adjective, it might be worth thinking of it as a comparative adverb. So let's have a look at another one, shall we? Certe, certius, and certissime. There it is again. You may just have come across these in the motto for the Olympic Games. There we are, 3 adverbs in the comparative: faster, higher, stronger. And of course, because it's a language, there are inevitably a few irregular adverbs. These are the most common ones that you will come across. Lots of familiar names and faces here for you. Just a few of them to watch out for, possibly where you might not quite notice that it's an adverb or that it's a comparative. Look at this one, for example, optime, with an E on the end. It could, of course, be a vocative, just talking to somebody to say, oh, finest person, if you're talking to a male person, but actually it's more likely to be an adverb. Very, very well. Optime, from optimus, the superlative adjective optime. And this one is a little nasty. Deal, you all know deal, for a long time. Here's the comparative, for a longer time, and there we go, just an extra letter for you to be aware of. Good. There we go. That hopefully has cleared up how adverbs work in Latin. They're not as nasty as other aspects of Latin grammar, but there's a few tricks and a few nasty little aspects to them that we need to get sorted out. Do check what other subjects are covered in my YouTube video sessions, and if you've enjoyed this and found it useful, please subscribe. That would be brilliant. Hope to see you in another video at some point. Good luck and keep enjoying the work. Goodbye. See you soon.